In the blue expanse of the eastern Mediterranean, a silent war is unfolding. One that doesn't make headlines, but could change the balance of power between Turkey and Greece forever. This is not a war of ships or jets, but of satellites, pixels, and data. And in 2024, Turkey has begun to use commercial satellite intelligence in ways that have left Greek defense planners scrambling. Pause for a moment. Imagine you're a Greek naval officer stationed on a remote island. You've spent months preparing your air defense systems, camouflaging radar sites, and rehearsing drills. But now, high-resolution satellite images, annotated with exact coordinates, are appearing on Turkish defense forums and even in state-linked media. Your positions, once secret, are now visible to anyone with an internet connection. This isn't an accident. It's a calculated move in a new kind of intelligence war. According to open-source satellite imagery released in March 2024 by the Turkish company Göktürk Vision, detailed maps of Greek air defense and naval deployments on islands like Castellorizo, Lesbos, and Samos have surfaced online. These aren't just blurry photos. We're talking about images so sharp you can count the missile tubes on a Greek S-300 battery or spot the camouflage netting over a mobile radar. I've reviewed these images myself. The level of detail is astonishing. Göktürk Vision's analysts have even published overlays showing the coverage zones of each radar and missile system, effectively giving Turkish planners a playbook for how to evade or overwhelm Greek defenses. And it's not just static positions. The imagery includes timestamps, showing when equipment was moved, when ships docked, and even when new air defense units arrived. For Greek commanders, it's like fighting with the lights on and the enemy watching every move. Let's step back. For decades, military secrecy in the Aegean was maintained through camouflage, deception, and the natural cover of rugged islands. But in the last 5 years, the explosion of commercial satellite technology has changed the game. Companies like Göktürk Vision, Planet Labs, and even Western firms like Maxar now offer high-resolution imagery to anyone willing to pay. Military analysts I spoke with in Athens and Ankara believe Turkey is systematically purchasing commercial imagery, then combining it with signals intelligence and drone surveillance. The result? A near real-time map of Greek defensive positions, updated weekly, sometimes even daily. And by publishing this data in open forums, Turkey isn't just gathering intelligence, it's sending a message: we see you, we know where you are. And if conflict comes, we'll know exactly where to strike. Let's be clear. Air defense and naval systems are designed to be mobile, to hide, to survive. But you can't hide a 30-foot radar mast or a convoy of missile launchers from a satellite that passes overhead every 90 minutes. Once those positions are mapped, they become permanent entries in Turkey's targeting database. According to a recent report by the Hellenic Institute for Strategic Studies, the average Greek S-300 battery on the islands can be relocated in under 10 hours. But commercial satellites can revisit the same site up to 6 times a day. Every time a battery moves, it's only a matter of hours before its new location is logged, analyzed, and potentially shared with Turkish missile forces. And it's not just about hardware, it's about morale. I spoke with a Greek officer who described the psychological toll. You're always looking up, not just for Turkish drones, but for satellites. You know that somewhere, someone is watching, cataloging, waiting. So, what does Turkey gain by exposing Greek air and naval defenses? First, it erodes the deterrent value of these systems. If Ankara can demonstrate that it knows exactly where every launcher, radar, and ship is located, it can threaten to neutralize them in the opening hours of a conflict, potentially with drones, cruise missiles, or even special forces raids. Second, it forces Greece into a costly game of cat and mouse. Every time a battery or ship is exposed, it must be moved, recamouflaged, and reintegrated into the network. That's expensive, logistically complex, and crucially distracting. And third, it sends a message to Greek allies in the EU and NATO. Your shield is not as impenetrable as you think. Recent defense white papers from the Greek Ministry of Defense suggest that Athens is scrambling to adapt. New camouflage nets, decoy launchers, and even satellite blind spots are being tested. But as one Greek analyst put it, you can't outpace the sky. The satellites are always watching. Meanwhile, Turkey is investing heavily in its own commercial satellite industry, with plans to launch 20 new imaging satellites by 2026. The goal? To achieve persistent, real-time coverage of every Greek base, from Crete to the Dodecanese. And it's not just about satellites. Turkey's Bayraktar drones, equipped with advanced sensors, are now being used to cross-check satellite data, providing even more accurate targeting information. From what I've gathered, Greek forces are quietly shifting doctrine. More emphasis on mobility, deception, and electronic warfare. Some bases are experimenting with inflatable decoys and rapid redeployment drills. But the fundamental problem remains. In the age of commercial satellites, secrecy is fleeting. And here's a sobering thought. If Turkey can do this in the Aegean, what's stopping other regional powers from doing the same elsewhere? The technology is available to anyone with the resources and the will. This isn't just a Greek-Turkish issue. The entire Eastern Mediterranean is watching. Cyprus, Israel, and Egypt are all investing in their own satellite and drone capabilities. The intelligence war is spreading, and the old rules, where only superpowers could see everything, no longer apply. For Greece, the challenge is clear. Adapt to a world where every move is visible, every deployment is a potential target, and the enemy's eyes are always overhead. For Turkey, the message is equally clear. The era of invisible defenses is over. The next conflict may be decided not by who has the most ships or missiles, but by who controls the flow of information from space. In my view, we are witnessing the dawn of a new intelligence battlefield, one where commercial satellites, open source analysis, and information warfare converge. The old rules of secrecy and surprise are being rewritten in real time. Greek defense planners are now considering more radical solutions. Underground bunkers for radar systems, rapid deployment units that can move within hours, and even the use of civilian infrastructure to mask military movements. But the fundamental reality remains. As long as satellites are overhead and as long as data is for sale, the balance of power in the Aegean will be shaped as much by information as by firepower. This is the new face of military competition in the Eastern Mediterranean. Satellites, drones, and data analysts are now as important as ships, jets, and soldiers. The intelligence war is no longer fought in the shadows. It's fought in the open, with every move tracked, cataloged, and, if necessary, exposed. For Greece and Turkey, and for every nation watching, the lesson is clear. Adapt or risk being left behind. The next crisis in the Aegean may be decided not by a naval battle, but by a satellite image published online for all to see. And in this new era, the side that controls the sky, not just with jets, but with satellites, will hold the real advantage.